about to enter another dimension. A dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. A journey into a wondrous land of imagination. Next stop, the Twilight Zone.
Hello and welcome. This is the Premier Edition of the Twilight Zone trading cards as produced by Rittenhouse Archives, and this is also the Premier video produced by Videodrome-oz. Let's have a look at this, what I believe to be is a master set of cards from a masterful card set of a masterful series. First up we've got the dealer sell sheet, I think it's called. This details for all prospective buyers, both trade and individuals, what would be in the card set, and it boasts 2 hand autographs per box. November 1999. This was actually the second ever set released by Rittenhouse. The first set was the original Twilight Zone in motion, followed by this. The set consisted of a number of common cards, which were 6 cards per episode of the Twilight Zone, and out of the 156 episodes of the Twilight Zone, they had to select which episodes best represented the series, which is a hard pick, but I think that they might have had some help, and I'll come back to that. We have the game cards as far as collectibles, 1 per pack, lots of those available, and then the only real chase cards in there, I would say, the Stars of the Twilight Zone. That series was consistent throughout the entire run of Rittenhouse cards. There's another Twilight Zone set on its way soon, I believe. Commemorative cards, 1 per 36 packs, so a fair chance of getting some of those. And then the autograph cards. You can see that there's some quite big names in there. And I think it was the autograph cards, the signers, that then helped drive the selection of the episodes, because I think it favoured things like Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Having William Shatner both signing a card meant that he made it into the Stars of the Twilight Zone, and his episode was featured in those selected. We also have here details about the Twilight Zone Challenge, but I'll come back to that at the end. As well as the dealer sell sheet, we would have had our promo cards. This series consisted of 2 promo cards. We've got the 2 classic episodes, To Serve Man and Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. Then we've got what I would say could be box toppers. These are numbered to 999 and hand numbered, and feature the 3 different logos of the Twilight Zone over its 5-year run. So it went from 3 years of 1 half-hour episodes to a year of hour-long episodes, then in its final season back to half-hour episodes. We had 2 commemoration cards here because they've passed away. Buck Houghton, I believe, was a big supporter of the cards in pre-production, but passed away before they actually went into production, so he never signed any sort of card, unlike some other people that featuring future episodes. I'm tilting this because these are foil embossed, the words Twilight Zone and the people's names. Final card here we've got is the checklist. I've got that sitting outside of the common cards. On the back of these we've got details for the promo cards on the cards themselves. We've got numbered to 999, so if these were 1 per box, that would give it about 3,000 boxes. We've got the commemorative cards and the checklist here. Then we've got the game cards. Now the game cards, the game was spell out Twilight Zone and you could win. Just going back to our dealer sell sheet, what could you win? You could win a complete set of the 18 autographs, which is pretty impressive when we get to the autographs. We'll actually place them at the back of the set. So here we have the opening credit sequence from, I think that might be around year 4. Then you'd fill out your details on the back. The next chase cards that we had were the Stars of the Twilight Zone. As I say, this style continued for the entire series run, and they're still being produced, so they're still adding the stars. Shatner, Martin Miller, Rod Taylor, Earl Holliman, who appeared in the first episode, and Francis, Kevin McCarthy, Richard Basehart, who, much like William Shatner, went on to other glory or other fame, as well as being a famous movie actor on his own right, having appeared in Fellini films. He was the lead in Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, the Owen Allen series. Vera Mills, Bill Mumy, who also went on to greater work or greater fame in Lost in Space. And on the back we have biographies of these different actors. The cards themselves, I'll just do this side, I'll try it this way. So we've got 6 images from each episode, starting off with the premiere episode, Where is Everybody? And following that up with Time Enough at Last. I have spread them across the nights that don't quite fit, and Time Enough at Last has that horrible twist ending. We've got the less well-known When the Sky Was Open, but it was a similar theme to a number of Twilight Zone episodes, isolation and what's reality and am I going mad. But that one I think was chosen because of Rod Taylor's participation in the signing. Similarly, Vera Mills with Mirror Image, a great episode, but maybe not one of the better known ones. I'd say Long Live Walter Jefferson. It is just still a very memorable episode regardless of signing or not, partially because of Kevin McCarthy. Similarly, The After Hours, I think that one was referenced in the Twilight Zone movie, in the sequence at the beginning of the movie where Dan Aykroyd and Albert Brooks were trying to pick their favourite episodes. Similarly, Eye of the Beholder, very well-known episode referenced in popular culture. Obsolete Man, less well-known, but again possibly chosen because of Fritz Weaver. It's hard to say that there's any actual bad Twilight Zone episodes, in my opinion, but I might be biased. You can see on the back of the cards we have separate images from the front of the cards, so that you would get 6 images per episode on the front and 6 on the back. Wonderful episode there. It's a Good Life. To Serve Man, which I think was heavily influential to the TV series V. Nightmare at 20,000 Feet. And I think we must be getting near the end here with Probe 7 Over and Out. Richard Bayside episode. Following the episodes, we have, near the end here, the autograph cards. William Shatner, as I say, greater fame in Star Trek. Donna Douglas as Ellie Mae Clampett in the Beverly Hillbillies. Richard Keel as Jaws in the James Bond films. Keel would again sign Bond cards for Rittenhouse Archives. Kevin McCarthy went on to be a bit of a cult figure after his performance in Invasion of the Body Snatchers, being used in many Joe Dante films. Lead Boucher appears as a guest star in many TV series. Great Vera Mills and Rod Taylor. Fritz Weaver as well. Earl Helliman with his appearance from the first episode, Anne Francis, name-checked in the opening credit song to Rocky Horror Picture Show. Cloris Leachman and Bill Mumy, who would go on to sign a dual card in a later set. And something else here you might notice that Rita Lee has put Cheers. Later on, they found many actors and actresses were adding words to their cards, making them variations and more collectible, and Rittenhouse started putting separate, you can see Richard Keel's doing the same thing here, as does Donna Douglas, started putting separate card sets where the actors would actually write things. They've also got this style in the background here where behind the actors' faces, they've put these horizontal lines, almost as though they're from a television screen. Fine, and they are all foil embossed. Finally, what made this set a master set is the inclusion of this card. As well as having all of the autographs, this is the Z card that you needed to redeem all of the cards. I did not get this Z card to redeem. I bought this after fact. You can see it has been redeemed because the corner is missing out of it, but whoever redeemed it did not fill out the back, so it's a nice mint, apart from the fact of that corner missing, which the price you would pay, even though I'm sure it's beyond redemption at the moment, would be prohibitive. Anyway, that's our very first video. I hope you enjoyed that, and there will be many more to come, including box breaks. Bye for now.